There we are. Oh, guess what?
Uh,
Yeah, I got.
Caught me looking at my phone.
Yeah, I got to redo that. Isn't that something? I told those guys I'm like the Bill Dance of. Yeah, I got to add. Get that guy. We got to put him back in the back. There we go. You're the guy I need
I
on
think
there.
I think one of these days Bill Dance is going to get mad at you and come after you.
I'm
Keep saying
in
it.
copyright things, whatever. But
Yeah.
but Bill Dance would love it. He's like, hey, I remember those days. Oh man, now what did I do?
I don't know, but your square is bigger than mine. Now you disappeared.
Yeah, we both disappeared.
This is awesome. This is like Harry Potter stuff we're doing right now.
It's like this every week. Why? How do I do this?
There you are.
Okay, and your screen's smaller. I got to get you a little bit bigger because Canada needs to have a little more love here tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, all right. So
There we go.
we're back, and you know what? We had to put the Tennessee kayak angler back in the green room for a little bit here before we get going. But welcome everybody. We got people coming on already. So, Keith, what's been going on?
Well, you kind of know we just got off another meeting about 20 minutes ago about a really cool trip we're doing to Vancouver Island.
Yeah,
Northwest coast of Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
About 14 of us going up there to Sea Otter Lodge. It's going to be pretty epic.
Yep.
Stay tuned for that. That's
I
going
may
to be
not
fun.
come home. I'm gonna have to just tell my wife, get a plane ticket, and come up and join me. I'm gonna live here.
Oh, really? Because I was just going to tell my wife I'll see you later.
But anyway, we got some exciting stuff coming up, and I just got back from Texas.
Yeah.
Good time. Got two personal bests in the same day, a 23.5 and a 23.75. The Nico's on fire, and I'm getting a lot of orders for them lately. It seems like, but at the same time, we got. And by the way, I'm getting a lot of people. Well, I didn't know about the Yakoff awards. I want to enter that, and so I think if you do this again sometime, you're going to have people like it's going to look like Walmart waiting lines to get in.
We already have people like, I'm not sure what a Walmart waiting line is because we don't have a Walmart where I live, but
Believe me, you don't want to be in one.
but yeah, I've already got enough participants for the next one. We're going to run another one in the fall.
Yeah.
But right now we're here talking about this one, and we're in the quarterfinals and second round of the quarterfinals already, and we're into Malone sponsoring this one again, and we got a ton of cool stuff. We got Seth and Chad in here. We had a pretty crazy week last week. It was Jake Suvak against Chad Hoover.
Yeah, a lot of drama.
It was a lot of drama. There was a lot of back and forths, and going into the final weekend, Vibe actually made a big push with their team and all of their followers.
Yeah.
Threw it out there to like support their guy. And Jake came from roaring from behind, and we had the most votes we've ever had in one so far. And
wow,
that was pretty cool to watch and exciting. And there was some bantering going on, and that's encouraged as long as it's in good taste. But yeah, it was super fun. It was a good week.
It was getting close.
It was. Yeah.
So we got Beth on here. One of the she's part of the Malone Trailer organization. And
yep, she is
there. And so anyway, we're going to bring these guys on in a second. But I was with Chad. He had that big old bass. I happen to be right there, so I'm his film guy now. He'll talk about it.
He's talking about Chad Davison now, like the other Chad I was talking about earlier. But yeah.
So Chad, I'm for hire when you come on here tonight.
Yeah, and first of all, I would love to say something right now to Seth and Chad. Awesome this week. Like, you guys not only pumped it up on socials, but like, you're in the quarterfinals and you redid your videos. You listened to what people asked for on the first round and asked questions about and answered them, and like how you did this or how you swapped this or how you changed your rig from a catfishing rig to a bass rig, or Chad, how you did that whole like line retrieval thing, and like super cool to see you guys answering the questions that the audience is asking, because that's kind of what it's about. It was super cool.
Let's bring them in, man. Let's bring them in here.
Let's bring in Beth first.
Well, I got them all on the screen, on the scene.
All right, let's bring them all in.
They'll just have to kind of. We're gonna talk. We'll start.
Quarterfinals, so we can bring them all in. No rules.
We got them all in.
There
Here.
we go.
There they go. They're, look how excited they are to be here.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, thanks for being here.
Seth is still sitting on the same lake as 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's actually from last year. From last year.
He's got his catfish line out.
Well, you can see that Chad is just sitting there waiting for the right time to bring his dog in to lick his face.
Yeah, he's right here. He's waiting.
I know.
That dog trick.
This is my rescue dog.
Yeah.
How many times can that work?
Oh, every time.
No.
Every time.
Yeah, it works a lot.
We got guess who the first guest is on?
Tanya. Yep.
Hey, she did well in a tournament last weekend, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd you do, Tanya?
I think she got third. I think I'm not sure. I can't remember. I thought she got third. Jim Richardson. Anyway, let's talk to Beth about Malone Trailers here.
Yeah,
we're here because they're a major sponsor of this, and like I said, I was telling her earlier. I remember doing an article for Wired to Fish on trailers, and they were one of the featured trailers in that article because, and I think Chad, do you have a Malone?
Yeah, I do. I've had it since I started kayak fishing 5 years ago, and I've still got the same trailer. Mm-hmm. It's been, they're very simple, but I like the fact that they're simple and lightweight. I've interacted with the Malone customer service a couple times to order replacement parts, and I've found the customer service to be outstanding, and the trailer's been great. I've probably got over 50,000 miles on it, and it's still going strong. So it's a great trailer, and that's WAP.
Thanks, Chad, and thank you for mentioning customer service because that is really important to us. And we pretty much tell them you have you have the freedom to do whatever you've got to do to take care of the customer. And they really do take that seriously. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah. And I want to mention too, you guys know Lance McOrder out of Texas, right? You know him?
Yeah. I've definitely heard of him.
Yeah. He owns a restaurant down. Anyway, he shows up at a kayak fishing tournament at Caddo and there's no kayak. It's his camper and his truck. And I'm like, where's his kayak at? He had his trailer in the camper.
Oh, you told me this.
Yeah, the Malone trailer fit perfectly to the 1/4 inch in his camper.
Oh, he's the one. I heard that story, but I didn't know who it was. I got to get a photo of that.
Yeah, he has it. He puts it in there, and then so he unhooks his camper, hooks it up to his truck, and then goes around the lake with his Malone trailer with his kayak on it. And
I got to get some images of that.
It's bizarre. He does it. And he has the same size. I have a 19-footer. It's about a 19, 20-foot camper is all. But his is built for the toy type thing where he has the back door that opens up. I have just a walk-in door. But Beth, you guys must have obviously engineered that based on camper sizes.
Well, we have 3 different models of the trailer. We've got the Eco-Lite that's, graded to carry 400 pounds. And then we've got the Micro Sport that goes to 800 and the Mega Sport to 1,000. So, we have different sizes, different, capabilities. And I think we've got 42 different packages right now. So, yeah.
And tons of accessories and different things you can do with it.
Wow.
A lot of accessories. And so our new thing right now that we just came out with that we think it's really cool is the new off-road trailer that has pontoon tires. So it can, we can go off-road and it's in a matte black. So it just looks really cool. So, for everyone that's got those black cars and black SUVs,
it's like that powder coated black kick-ass looking tough trailer, but it's off-road. It's pretty cool.
What's the name
of it?
What's the name of it?
It's the off-road. trailer.
Off-road,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yep. And we have that in both the regular microsport version and the low bed version. So
Okay.
I don't know if this will work when I move because I'm in my backyard, but I spent my weekend putting together a Megasport 2-tier trailer that Malone sent me, and it is actually right here behind me if you can see it.
Oh, nice.
So that's the big one.
So this is the big one. It's got right now. It's got a Vibe Shearwater and a Unlimited on it. Rod holders, like it's pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. It took me 2 full days to put together because a lot of people out there in podcast land don't know, but I chopped half of my left thumb off. So it's really hard for me to put stuff together.
Wow.
And it wasn't from a bass bite. It was from a wood splitter.
Yikes.
Ow.
So when you're trying to do like little things with like tying flies or it's really not easy when you are missing half of your thumb.
Okay, is this it?
No.
Is that it?
What are you looking at?
Oh, add to scene. Is that it?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't see it.
So that's the new black off-road. Yes. And I can't see. Do you have? Oh yeah, that's the low bed. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's got the lower clearance.
Okay.
I should know this. 22 inches in the crossbar. Don't quote me on that. I'm not completely sure, but that's the one that when you launch that and you back it into the water, your boat's going to slide right off that.
Oh wow,
it's awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Steven Sturgeon has a question: is the off-road still good for the highway?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
100%.
There you go, Steven. Go ahead.
One thing that's been really great for me with the Malone trailer, because I pull it behind, I have a little 12-foot camper, and I pull it behind the camper like a double tow deal, and I've got a little bit of that in my video from this week. But
very cool.
It's such a lightweight trailer. It allows me to do that. Not only just it tows like there's nothing there, but I can, when I get where I'm going, I can unhook it and wheel it around by hand, which is important because I'm pulling my kayak behind a camper, and sometimes I just have to unhook it and wheel it by hands because I can't back up 2 trailers. So,
absolutely.
If I had a heavier trailer that, I couldn't do that. And so this trailer allows me the flexibility to move it around by hand. It's easy to put in the garage, and there's just a lot of benefits to it.
Nice.
You have the Eco Light, right, Chad?
I do have the Eco Light, and I've done some modifications to it over the years. I added some uprights with lights on top, and then I put 12-inch wheels and tires on it. It comes with the 8-inch wheels and tires, but I upgraded those, and that was really easy to do. So it gives me, just a little bit. Because I go so many, I pull it so many miles. I just wanted a little bit bigger tires and wheels on it, but.
Right. And I'm going to jump in now before I forget this. You talked about how you modified it a little bit. So we're constantly taking customer feedback about how to make it better. And we've recently decided we're going to, there's a small upgrade we're going to make. The way you were talking about, you haul the trailer around yourself, like just, by the handle.
Yep.
The handle could be better. So we're going to work on the handle. We want kind of like a 2-way handle so you can pull the kayak and push it. And we just think that would be a little more user friendly.
But Beth, on that note, what I'm going to show you guys is I hope you can see this, but that's the tongue, or like the coupler, right, of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So this never comes on most trailers. This is a heavy trailer, but it's got a handle here. Instead of like picking it up like this or using this, there's actually a handle.
Oh wow!
Where you can like pick it up and move it around. Like trailers have that.
And that's what I am talking about.
Such a cool feature.
The handle. We think we could make that a little better, especially like with the off-road and the Eco Light that Chad was just talking about, because that's a heavy trailer. You're only going to manually pull that. You're probably not going to push it. But the trailer Chad has got and that off-road trailer, we're hearing people want to go back and forth with it. So we think we could make that little handle. We can improve on that a little bit.
But the handle's a great idea because no other trailers have that, right?
Yeah.
And it's like such a easy, like maybe just a T-bar kind of switch so you can push and pull or something. But
there's
Chad's awesome.
trailer. There's Chad's trailer there. You can see what he's done there on that. And we'll go into more of these guys later. I don't want to give Chad an unfair advantage by posting all this.
That's okay, Marty. We'll allow that.
We'll take it.
So I just want to take one more minute and say, thank you for inviting me on here. It's been really fun to work with Keith and be a part of the Yakoffs. Yeah. You haven't seen Malone do a lot of advertising, and you certainly haven't seen us doing much with social media. And so we're jumping into that big time this year. Good. I mean, honestly, we were busy fulfilling orders for the last couple of years. So that's
awesome.
Kind of where our focus was. But we're really excited to be working with all you guys. We think it's great. This was just kind of a really fun story. Like right after, I think it was the first or second week of competition, we got an email on our website saying, thank you for supporting and sponsoring the Yakoffs. It's been really fun for me. This guy, he's like, in fact, it was so much fun. I went online, I bought a trailer yesterday, and I talked my buddy into buying a trailer. So I passed that on to Keith, and we sent him a t-shirt and a Malone mug, and I think you gave him a free membership or something?
Yeah, I sent him like a year subscriptions to Kayak Angler and stuff like that, just to say thanks.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
It's been great.
And I want to put a plug in for Eco Fishing Shop as well, because they sell your trailers.
Absolutely.
And they're one of my sponsors, and they are I think they're selling quite a bit of stuff out of there. So I know they're
doing really well. I talked to Caleb a lot. Talked to him today, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
So
and Eco Fishing Shop like advertises with us at Kayak Angler and Paddling Magazine as well.
Yeah.
So
and
I mean, this is not meant to be like a thing talking about sponsors and all that kind of stuff. But everything that all of us do here is not possible without sponsors and brands and people that are watching and supporting. Yeah. So that's the cool thing. And part of the Yakoffs that I never, ever expected was the outreach that brands would get to the anglers involved. And Beth can even talk about that with what's gone on with you guys and who you've been able to hook up with because of the Yakoffs, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, we're kind of new to the social media thing. We really just haven't had time to do it. So I am clearly learning quickly how organic this all is and how everyone's playing off everyone else, and it's just exponentially growing on itself. So I'm kind of learning that. So the first person that Keith kind of hooked us up with was Chad Hoover, and he's like, Chad was like saying he might want to like get in touch with you guys and do something. So we are working with Chad and KBF, and we got a deal going with him for an exclusive deal for his members, and we got a bunch of things that we're talking about with Chad, and we just sent a trailer out to AJ Ramirez out in California. I did it as long as he promises that he'll cook me a gourmet meal when I get out to California.
He is a good sushi chef at like Pebble Beach
or something.
So, these guys like Chad and Lance, they're walking billboards for you, because when they go to a tournament, people, hey, that, because Chad, yours is a very simple light setup behind. I watch you pull that deal, and I'm like, how does he do that with on the highway? I don't have that kind of guts to do that.
How long is that rig with the trailer, the truck, and the trailer?
I mean, it's less. It's less than 55 feet. Really, it's a 12-foot. My camper is a Coleman Rubicon 1200 RK, which is like a 12-foot camper, and the kayak and trailer I think is about 16 feet. I think my truck's about 20 feet, and all together it's like, right around that 55 feet range. But it's really crazy. I do have a camera, like a backup camera on the camper so I can see the kayak behind there when I'm on the highway, but it pulls like there's no sway. It just pulls really easy. And I mean, the only time you could really get in trouble is if you got somewhere where you had to like try to back up with all that rig there. And I've never been in that situation, but if I were, I have it set up so I can easily unhook the kayak trailer and you can wheel it by hand. And so you could just wheel it and then get turned around and hook it back up. But when I get to the campsite, I just unhook the kayak, back the camper right in the campsite, and wheel the kayak in by hand. It's super easy, and it's worked out really good for me.
Yeah. So what are you going to do next, like behind the kayak trailer? What are you going to attach to that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've pushed the limit there. I don't know if I'm going to push it any further.
It's like watching that circus train in Dumbo or something like.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So
cool.
Anyway, I wanted to real quick. Tan, I just want to mention Tan because I saw she did get third for the day, fourth overall. Isn't that cool though? One of our listeners here. Loyal listeners, and we got a lot of people on here tonight, Beth, for you. So you might have some more orders for Malone trailers.
No, we're happy to take them.
Yeah. And so, Seth, and this is not a monopoly here. So your trailer is which one do you use?
On the water innovations.
Yeah, make a good trailer too. And the cool thing is, like Beth and I have talked about this a little bit about Texas trailers, Tennessee trailers, on the water, like all these different brands. They're totally different types of trailers. Like this gigantic, awesome trailer came in pieces to me in Canada, and I assembled it with 1.5 thumbs. Like, it's different than getting a full, like, seriously, it's different than getting like a full-on welded massive trailer that you pick up and you have to go and pick it up in a shop. It's just like, it's cool that there's so many different platforms that you can go get what you need for you or get delivered what you need for you because you don't have that access to places, right?
What's the, Beth, kind of what's the shipping cost and something like that in the U.S.? You know?
Well, most, if not all, of our online dealers are offering free shipping, which is really unbelievable because I don't have to tell you guys. I mean, those boxes weigh a lot. So, I mean, they're absorbing, they're absorbing a lot of expense shipping those out for free. So, it's a big deal.
This trailer came in 15 boxes.
Jeez.
I literally drove to, and it was not difficult to put together. It was just like step by step and follow really good instructions and very easy. And there's like lots of online videos that you can watch. And I'm not gonna lie, I had it pause, play, watching these videos on eTrailers, I think it was called, eTrailers.com.
Yep,
and it was really good, super easy to do. One thing I did that was very stupid was built a lot of it when it was raining outside in this part of my shed. Never thought about getting it out of my shed. So part of that I built, I had to dismantle and then take it out and then remantle, if that's a word. But you know what I mean? I did the same thing when I had kids. I built the whole crib in the living room because I was watching football games. Then I couldn't get the crib into the baby's room.
Wow.
And take it apart.
Wow. Well,
that's smart.
So we got a battle here this week. We got a big. This is to get to the Final Four, fellas. And you guys. So that's. I'm gonna hit Seth first here.
Okay.
Seth,
these are new videos too.
Yeah, we're gonna watch a little bit of each one.
Yeah.
My wife's home high. And I'd say hi to her. So she lets me.
Hi.
Anyway,
hi, wife.
She's upstairs. So have you made? We're gonna watch the videos. What new? Have you made any new modifications to your kayak since the last time you were on?
I mean, I swapped it from my catfishing rig to my tournament bass fishing rig.
Okay.
I have a new live scope pole on there. I was using the Yak Gadget quick scope before. And the only reason I switched to the one I have now is I had kept making changes to the bottom of the pole where the transducer connects, and kept having to chop off more and chop off more, and I just ran out of hole. And I
Yep.
found the Railblazer one on sale. I think it's regular like $230. I found on sale for like $150.
Oh wow.
And I'd been wanting to try it anyway. I like it so far.
Cool. And I Beth, thanks for being patient with me. We appreciate you being on here and representing Malone Trailers Night as well. I just want to let you know that, because
sure, happy to do it.
It's going to get the word out for you guys as well. So, and then Chad, what new gadgets?
But wait, one more thing, Marty, before you move on. In Seth's video around like the 9:30-minute mark or 10-minute mark,
Okay.
he also talks about his new lighting system.
Oh, yeah, the Guardian Angel light system.
There you go.
I installed that. I do really like that.
Yeah.
I had forgotten to charge them that day. That's why you don't see me showing you like, this is how you turn it on, this is how you turn it off. Because when I was filming, I turned around, I was like, this is how you turn it on. It's not turning on.
The strongest magnets, literally.
They
I have
are
one
ridiculously strong. I think it says it's 12 pounds is the strength.
If you can see this, so this is the light. It's on a magnet, and like here's me dropping it.
Jeez.
I forgot to take it off my kayak on the drive home, and it stayed on there fine.
Really? Could you knock it off with your pole?
It's
Probably
pretty like there's me hitting it. Look,
maybe one of my catfishing rods, but not a bass rod. I don't think
it's like full on strong.
Now what?
And I'm really strong, Marty.
I know you are. Now, if I had my net on the bow of my kayak and I went to pick it up, would that knock it off if it caught it or something?
If you tried.
I mean, probably could if you actually. But it also has a little tether that's attached to each mount, so you're not going to lose it.
So
and I really like that flag. I don't know what they put in, if it's just a sheet of plastic, but it keeps the flag sticking out, and I just feel like that makes you more visible without having to have the wind blowing.
Okay.
So those lights and all that stuff on the flags and the extension arms and all that is brand new for Guardian Angel this year, and that it's kind of basically like a little piece of plastic that holds your flag out instead of just flopping down, right? They call it the Viagra flag.
Oh, jeez. Hey, this is a G.
I'm just kidding. They don't call that.
They come with tethers. I knew that too, but I just don't want to. I don't want to have a lot of string. I've got so many tethers on my kayak already, and you guys probably do too. That you get caught in those with your hook or something.
You'd have to really be trying to do it to knock it off.
Okay. I haven't put it on. I actually have two of them. One that I bought and one that of course Guardian Angel sent to me. But I haven't had a chance to put them on yet because of logistics and so forth. So I eventually will
because you're always fishing.
Yeah, I haven't been home to do it. So, but now I'm home for a few days here. Okay, so let's go to Chad. Chad, I'm sure you've been tinkering with your kayak because I've watched Chad get ready for to go out the next day. He will literally spend every spare minute around his kayak rigging and doing things that most of us wouldn't think of doing. Every inch of his kayak is something on there that he's done that's beyond what we could imagine. That's what I'm going to say. I've never seen anybody. So
I'm a little bit OCD on some of my prep, but I haven't changed a whole lot. I did add a new. I was fortunate to receive in the mail one of the new de-hooker tools, and I added that to I've got a box of tools. It's like spare tools. I got a scale in there and just emergency items and stuff like that. And I got the de-hooker tool in the mail and stuck that in there, so I'm ready if I ever hook myself. I did have that happen a few years ago, and it was not a pleasant experience, so now I'm a little bit more prepared to deal with that. But for the most part, everything is still exactly like my walkthrough video that I did 5 or 6 weeks ago. Everything is still the same. I've been like Marty. I've just completed my second trip from Missouri to Texas in the last few weeks, fishing down at Lake Fork, and I've had Moyak tournaments, and I fished some online tournaments, and honestly, I've probably been spread a little bit too thin with all the events I've been trying to fish. But
Cool.
yeah, my walkthrough video is still everything that you see. That's what I'm using.
Okay.
Except there's a monster fish that you caught in that video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy because, and this is, I'm not making
And
this
Marty
up.
filmed it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't make this up. I'm at Lake Fork. And we're practicing for the Bassmaster National Championship, and I'm fishing down the bank, and I hear a familiar voice around the corner, and it was Marty, and so he and I are talking, and we are literally talking about the first round of the Yakoff Awards.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, you know, me and Drew competing, and I get a bite, set the hook, and Marty starts recording, and he records me catching my PB, my biggest largemouth I've ever caught, which ended up being 8.04 pounds, and which for Lake Fork, that's just kind of an average big one, but for me, it was a big one. And Marty caught it all on video, and I put part of that video in my round 2 footage for this round of the Yakoff, so that's on there, and you know, it was a pretty cool deal, and to have Marty there and catch it all. I caught it on 2 different point of views, so I have my GoPro recording, and then Marty recorded it, so I was able to do like on my Facebook page, I've got like the full video with multiple camera angles, and it was a pretty neat deal.
And
Marty, you have can you pull that up right now? That we have it on the new one, right? On the new video.
On the new video. Oh yeah, I can bring it up. We'll bring up the other deal here.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see a bit of those 2 kayaks.
You bet. One thing I try to do, so you guys know, is when I'm out like fishing, like I see Chad and so forth, one thing that I try to do is take a picture of people in their kayak while they're fishing, because nobody does that, you know, and it gives them a memory of where they were, and I just send it to them. And I do that with a lot of anglers, but it's fun to do. But with Chad, we were just kind of standing there. When there was 2 guys from Kansas there too at the same time. We all kind of met at the same point there, and it was fun. Let me get that screen share. And
Chad just texted me, by the way. That's what I was responding to. He says hi to everybody.
Did I get
it?
And
he says thank you, Beth.
We talk all the time.
Yeah, we do too. Trust me.
Yeah.
Seth made one of the funniest videos I've seen in a while about Chad. I don't know if we could show that or how pull that up, but that was funny.
All
Instagram.
Right.
Check out the Tennessee Kayak Anglers Instagram, and you can see it. It's pretty funny.
Okay, so I'm bringing. Where's your video at, Chad? Is it on this page?
Yeah.
Well,
that's
updated part of it is on that video there.
Okay. You know what?
If you go there and
hey guys, Chad Davison here.
What part of the video?
It's like it's like 3 minutes in, maybe. Not that far.
Yeah, it's right after my little intro there.
Out really well.
Marty is very excited to show this because it's Marty's filming.
No, I'm not filming this.
No, but I thought it was towards the end of the video.
Because he goes back to his first video halfway through.
Yeah.
The auto retrieve.
So it's probably just a couple minutes in.
And then after I'm done, it just slots the money. And then in behind the graph, I just
way before that.
On the gear track.
Yeah, it's like in the first couple minutes, Marty.
That aren't too.
Yeah, there it is. Right there. There it is. Okay, go back a little bit for that. There we go.
This video was taken just a few weeks ago at the Bassmaster Kayak Series National Championship in Lake Fork, Texas, and I was fortunate to have my buddy Marty Hughes there just by random chance. He caught this on video, and it's a great video. It shows the stability of that Old Town autopilot, how you're easily able to stand and move around in the kayak. This was a new personal best for me, an 8.04 pound largemouth, and it was just an awesome experience, and I'm glad I was able to catch it on video.
Okay, I got to tell you guys, catching one of those like that is like catching a pit bull without legs. It's unbelievable.
Have you done that before?
Me? I just did it the other day, 2 of them.
Like a pit bull with no legs.
I've never caught a pit bull before, but it's like catching a pit bull. That's a great shot, though. And also, I'm his new net coach, too, by the way. I just want to let you know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I cut out the part where I missed it with the net like the first 4 tries.
Oh, nice. Okay, so what part you want me to show here? I'm going to show a minute or so of your video here, Chad.
How about
show the lure retriever?
If you were gonna,
let's do the lure retriever talk. Yeah, that's
okay.
Good.
Yeah, if you go ahead like a minute or so, you'll go. I've got a little section where I'm loading and unloading the kayak on the trailer, which is probably a good plug for Malone there. But
that's something you made yourself.
But this is you're way too far. You're into the old video now. You got to go way back.
Just a little bit after what you just showed.
Oh,
yeah, around there. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look at the screen like you can see me.
It's after the. Yeah, it's after that.
Mainly for local and regional events that aren't too far from home. Here I'm going to show how I launched the kayak. The Old Town Autopilot has a lot of great benefits, including a ton of room and stability, but it is a big, heavy kayak, so being able to have it on a trailer and launch it at a boat ramp is a big benefit. And it really launches super easy with those 3-inch electrical conduits. It slides right off, and then I just reverse the process to load it and pull it right up on there. So this is how I do it majority of the time, and it works out really well.
Wow.
Then one of the last things I'm going to talk about today is the AutoTreeve lure retriever. This is a lure retriever that's built into the kayak. It spools out, and basically you just use this by clipping it on your line and sliding it down to the bait that's hung up. And this thing works great. It's more than paid for itself over the years that I've had it. And it's amazing how many times you can get your bait free using this. You can get one at luresaver.net. And like I said, it's called an AutoTreeve lure retriever. And man, a lot of people have really been interested in this thing. It's a really neat gadget.
Cool. Okay. I got to quit diving in and get one of them things. I'm always going in the water and getting them back. No kidding.
There's gators down there, Marty.
Oh yeah. I met 2 of them this last trip, and that was in the main lake. I met them.
Marty, wait till you're up here in Vancouver Island in June, and there's sharks and sea lions trying to eat you.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
It's gonna be anyway, let's get to Seth. Seth's like going. He's rolling his eyes, going, "What about me?" So
Seth's like, "Where's my cool stuff?"
No, I was wanting to know if that was a DIY thing you had done, or if that was something I could buy and put on mine. Because I have mine just on a sawed-off rod handle with an old reel on there, and I get that thing so tangled up with everything else. Seems like it'd be a lot cleaner and easier to use coming out of how you have it set up.
Yeah, it's I used to use the dog leash with the hound dog on there, and this is like it's like a cassette that you can install inside your kayak, and then that it goes through. You just drill like I want to say like maybe a 3/8 or 1/2 inch hole, and it goes through and mounts so you can anywhere inside your kayak you have room, you can put it in there, and then it just automatically will spool and unspool. It's got like the spring where it'll spool. When you pull it back in, the line just goes back in automatically, and it's a pretty slick deal, and they're not that expensive.
So Chad, it's like a spring retrieval that goes like it just automatically winds inside the kayak.
Yeah, it's just like a little box that has a spring-loaded spool in it.
Yeah,
and
like a tape measure.
When you pull your line in, it just pulls it back in.
And so you just need inside access, and then you need that like 1/2 inch outside kind of. That's it. Wow. Where did you get that from? Because people would like to know that for sure, because you could use that for so many different tools.
Yeah, it's so the website is called luresaver.net. It's called an AutoTreeve lure retriever, And he's got 2 different versions. He has one that you can mount, just like clip it to your seat pole or something if you're in a bass boat. And then they have the kind that you can mount inside, which is like what I have. So he's got both versions on his website.
And what's interesting here is, like back in the day, this is 25 years ago. Here we were making little projects like that on our kayaks, and the stern light and the handles and everything we were making, and drilling holes. So you've got something here, Chad, that I guarantee you're going to see a company making what you've got, unless you decide to do that yourself. That's what happens, is these innovations that you guys are doing with your DIYs, that it ends up, a company sees that, like say Yak Attack or Yak Gear or Railblaza, and they go, hey, let's make one of those. And so you guys are actually the pioneers for these kind of things that are happening on the kayaks, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, the guy who invented that, his name is Doug Cheatham. He lives here in Missouri. He lives near Lake Wapapello. Yeah. And he's the one who invented it. That's his company that sells them.
Oh, okay.
And it's been around for a while, but it's kind of weird. It's one of those things that just a lot of people haven't heard about it. So
it's probably because he doesn't advertise with. He doesn't advertise with kayak anglers, obviously.
Yeah, he's a fisherman. He's too busy fishing than he is to try to advertise. But
it's kind of like the Nico weight.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, I'm pretty soon. I'm going to be hitting up Marty for advertising on Kayak Angler with his Nico weight.
You're right, because it's growing. Okay, so let's get Seth on here. Let's get a little video. What part of the video is best for you, Seth?
What's going on, folks?
Not that part.
Just
grab a part.
So Seth changed his whole rig over from catfish to bass.
Yeah, it takes about 45 minutes to take everything off and put everything back on and get it seated and cinched down.
Wow.
Has this right here, and you just pull up, and it drops your transducer in the water.
Hold it. How are you getting that sound? Do you have a microphone with your camera?
Yeah, so my camera setup, I run 3 GoPros, and in the colder months, mostly I run. I have a media mod case on all of them, and on my chest cam, I have a Hero 13, and the Hero 13 allows you to use the front and the back microphone at the same time, so you can catch. You got a a mic right here, and then you also are catching all the audio in front of you.
Would you be interested in doing a video on that?
Yeah, I did one last year, but it wasn't nearly as complete as this setup is now, and I was planning to do another one here in a couple months.
Your sound is like North Dakota Kayak Angler. You seen that guy?
Yeah, I like his videos.
He's an engineer by trade, and his sound is like phenomenal. Yeah. And and
I did use this Yak Attack rotor grip just to give it something to help support it with it extended out that far, and it also has these little bungee cords that go over top of it, help keep it seated down in that thing. And then what I do whenever I want to put it back up is I just go ahead and turn my motor on, start moving. As soon as I start moving, I pull this, and the water just pushes it back, and then I'm able to send it the rest of the way. And I just fold that down, go to my next spot, and then repeat. For my measuring board, I have one of the catch measuring boards, and like I said, my catfishing video, it's blue, so it matches my catfishing measuring board as well as my kayak, and I'm a weirdo about things matching.
Wait a minute. You and Chad have something.
What do you mean?
They're both weirdos? Makes fun of me about that all the time.
We both are very particular about little things like that, like color.
Yeah. I will spend hours trying to make things match. Even if it has no functional advantage, it just has to match so I can go to sleep that night.
My wife always says to me, you spend more time playing with fishing stuff and kayaks than fishing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Probably that for a second. Over here on the right side of the gunnel, I have one of the Yak Attack double header rotor grips that are meant for holding your paddle, but got the idea from Chris Hogan to repurpose that to hold my Yak Attack landing net.
Oh, that is perfect, man. Because my net lays on my bow.
I used to, because those Yak Attack ones, they fold. I used to keep it behind me, and you do the thing, and it feels all cool whipping that thing around. But I've gotten that thing caught on treble hooks more times than I can count. And I was watching the Chris Hogan video and saw him have his setup like that. I was like, oh my God, that looks so much better.
And I absolutely love that setup. I will never, ever go back to.
And you bust the front part of that off, didn't you? And it still works.
Yeah, I did.
Holding this thing behind me in a rod holder and grabbing it and whipping it around. There's just entirely too many opportunities.
Is the net in the front or in the back? The net part.
What do you mean?
How you put it on the kayak, front or back?
Yeah.
Oh, the net is forward. It's sitting up.
Hoop.
The hoop.
Yeah, the hoop with the net and everything is sitting up closer to the trolling
my
motor.
Yakoff landing net.
If you back it up a little bit, you'll see it sitting there before I grabbed it.
Blue, so it matches. I have one of the Yakoff double header rotor grips that are meant for holding your paddle, but got the idea from Chris Hogan to repurpose that to hold my Yakoff landing net. And I absolutely love that setup. I will never, ever go back to holding this thing behind me in a rod holder and grabbing it and whipping it around. There's just entirely.
Okay, I see now. You had it in the front. Yeah. I couldn't do that because I bring my fish around the bow. But you guys both have the front motor, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you want some more? We need some more, see some more? Or we want everybody
to show.
We can. We'll go down just a little bit more. Give you some juice.
Beth, have you learned a lot more about kayak fishing than you thought tonight?
I was taking notes for a while, and then I know you're recording, so I'm going to go back and watch this later.
To worry about it falling off into the water, which I've had that happen, or figuring out where to put it. I know right where they are, stick it back there, it's out of the way, it's secure, and then I can, 2 hands with the net on the fish, get the hook out of its mouth, get it measured, get it back in the water, my rod's secure. And then on the side of my Black Pack Pro, I think it's only supposed to have 3, but I have
10.
Finagled it to hold 5 on each side.
Oh my gosh. 5?
On each side. So
he's got the corner spot.
10, yeah. They were meant for the bungee straps to come up and hook on. But if you saw that part off, and then you can drill a hole into it, and it lets you attach the rod holder to it.
People need
on the corner.
Both you guys.
I'll throw something out here too. There's a company called Source Crate. If you guys haven't heard of them yet, they make really cool foot pegs, the rollers. But they also make for the Black Packs a corner attachment, so you can put it fits perfectly on the backpack. So there's 1, 2, 3 more that just go right in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What?
So you can put a lot of rods on there. It's insane.
What camera mount you have on there? I see it.
That's the Yakoff camera boom. I don't know what the actual name of it is.
Boom mount. The Panfish Pro or the Panfish?
No, it's not the Panfish. I have that on the front.
Okay.
Panfish Pro is the tall one.
It's like
or the boom.
It's called the boom stick,
mount.
isn't it?
Okay.
I think it's the boom stick.
Does that boomstick have any issues with wobbling while you're on the water?
It did wobble when I was on the water before, wherever I mounted it on the track, but I have recently gotten Catch's delete plate that has a track on top of it.
Okay.
That thing, you can see it. I show it in the video here in a second where I'm going through some crazy waves, and it's
a total,
super still.
Pretty solid,
of 10 rods on there. Inside the short stack, I keep 2 of the track packs.
Actually, it might be a little further forward where I'm talking about it, because I think I'm still talking about the rods.
When you start bouncing around, then you talk about it. There,
Well, you're just on it. Especially down at Gunnersville.
Here?
I can drop that thing in the grass, and the grass holds it pretty well, and it actually even comes up out of the grass pretty well. But that has enabled me to be able to hold position in the wind, but facing where I'm trying to cast, whether it be a bank, a point, down tree, anything like that. I'm able to face it now instead of having to try and cast around, my rod's behind me or the camera boom facing backwards on my kayak.
Okay, well, let's move on here. What else? I'm going to bring up pictures while you guys are talking here, and then let's learn some more. This is you guys. I've learned so much more tonight than I have. Is Chad here?
In your life?
My life, but I mean, these guys. I spend so much time fishing that all I bring out is like a couple rods, a box of lures, and my kayak. That's pretty much how I fish most time. But then when I fully outrigg it, it's got so much stuff on it. I feel like I'm a spaceship in a way sometimes, with all that stuff on there. But
my first kayak, it was a what is that brand? Lifetime. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Lifetime.
Lifetime something. Once I started rigging stuff up on that, I was using just random stuff I found in my garage that I'd have an idea for. I was using like curtain rods and whatnot. But I got the idea that I wanted to try and put a sail on it, and I used like a cutting board and some PVC, and I got a flagpole, and I even went and got some, I can't remember what the material's called, but in a little sewing machine, and like cut and stitched my own sail for it, and I took it out once, and it wasn't windy enough. As far as it ever got.
I'm just going through some of these pictures for people, but they have all their stuff listed down here, all their products, where you can get it. I'm going to make sure I take some good looks at some of this, because there's little things that you can do with your kayak that like my camera just wobbles all over the place. And yeah, by the way, Yak Gear is supposed, in Rail Blazer or whatever, supposed to be coming out with a new boom, and it's made out of carbon. Don't know much more about it than that, but I'm sure that what's Yak Attack's made out of?
We were just chatting about that, Marty, before this.
The tube itself is aluminum.
Okay.
Yeah. The new carbon one and with that black checkered thing is coming from Yak Gear.
From Yak Gear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but they asked me to email them, but I haven't heard anything back. So hopefully soon. But here we got a comment. So the comment, Beth, you have to try kayak fishing. It's a blast.
Saw the Tanya comment. I'm trying to respond to her, and yes, I absolutely, yeah, I agree, Tanya.
Yeah. See,
totally.
And the thing, Beth, I want to let you know this, Beth, is that we have a lot of gals that kayak fish, and not only just kayak fish, but kayak fish at the highest levels of competition.
Well, I heard she came in, third. I mean, that's great. Congratulations, Tanya. I think that's awesome. I love that.
And just so you guys know, if you guys even know this, but we had a gal in Nebraska, Carrie Brown. She won 4 titles in a row in Nebraska.
Wow.
Over all the guys. And she doesn't fish anymore, but she was a force. And of course, there's Christine Fisher up there too.
And Christine Fisher, and there's lots of.
There's a lot, but like Krista
Wesley Gray, who was part of the Yakoff.
Yeah, but they all can hold their own, and so there's an equal playing field here, in what we're doing, and it's just really fun to see what people are doing, and so Chad and Seth here have made things way more efficient than I've ever imagined. That's why Chad and Seth, I don't know a lot about, because you're down in Tennessee, but I'm going to tell you something. If I go to Missouri, Chad's going to probably get my money. So I avoid Missouri.
We'll find out in a few weeks here, Marty.
Oh yeah, we got the All-American Championship coming up, and by the way, that's where you take all of the clubs in the country, and your top anglers are invited to this competition in Missouri at Truman Reservoir, and the top club gets this gigantic trophy and lots of money and stuff, and it's bragging rights mainly. But Missouri and Arkansas have kind of dominated that for the past few years here, and it's a lot, and it's just a lot of fun. And Joshua Booth puts that on down there. So yeah, we'll meet up in 3 weeks there. In 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's May 2nd and 3rd. So
yeah. So anyway, that's coming up. Anything, kids? Any more questions here? We're not getting any questions.
No, I was just going to say one thing that's been super cool about the Yakoff that I didn't really expect, or I kind of, I guess, anticipated but didn't happen, was a lot of the people with massive social followings. Mm-hmm. I thought they would be the ones kind of to go through because they could just push that forward. But it's been really cool because it's been people that there's been a lot of upsets. Mm-hmm. Like Chad, you took out Drew Gregory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all, really.
No, but it's because people are thinking, and last week, Jake Suvak knocked off Chad Hoover. And like, Seth, your first round was against
Marty.
Yeah.
Marty.
Yeah.
I was kidding.
Oh.
That's okay. I'd rather do this than all.
I was just kidding with that one, but yeah. But you know what I mean?
But I would.
It was within like 1%.
Yeah, I know, but no. But my point is, it's been so cool to like not just have like the social followers kind of with the big following go through, but it's people like making comments about Chad's lure retriever and wanting to see more of this DIY stuff, because that's the whole point of it. It's not just about professional anglers, fishermen and fisherwomen that have all these sponsors that are being able to like do this stuff, but people that are like Jimmy rigging stuff up and like.
Well, I've got a kayak.
It's been very cool.
You bet. I've got a kayak in my garage right now that I've kind of been building on. Hasn't even been in the water yet, and I just keep tinkering with it. And I don't want to put it in the water until I'm absolutely ready for it. But it's going to be a river beast when I get done. But I haven't even done anything with it on the water. I just like tinkering with it. You know?
I thought you were going to say you're not putting it in the water until you get a trailer.
I have a trailer.
I'm kidding.
I wouldn't mind one of those home trailers either. That'd be cool. But I haul mine on my top of my truck because I have a bigger camper too. And so I use that Easy Rec Rack, which at 66 years old is it's getting a little rougher for me these days to do the power clean to get it up there, you know. But
nice.
Anyway, so what else we got? We haven't got any questions. So Beth, have you got any questions since you've been watching this?
No, again, seriously, I've totally enjoyed this. It's really fun and interesting, and I think this whole contest is just really cool.
Well, it's Keith's
awesome.
brainchild.
That's what he said. Yep.
It is. Yeah, and it's been so fun to have like so many people involved and following along and winning prizes and getting sponsored, and like you talked about Chad and AJ and the relationship there, but there's been other things like Seth getting hooked up with New Canoe and a bunch of different stuff, and it's just really cool to be able to hook up people that are just trying to do good things with people that are trying to do good things. It's just fun.
And there's a reason why Seth, go ahead, Beth.
Oh, well, I'm just agreeing. Totally agreeing.
Yeah, there's a reason why Seth and Chad are successful in the water at catching fish, and this is one of the reasons why, because they've made themselves so much more efficient than anybody else out there, you know.
Yeah. And
those little things, Chad knows this because I'm good friends with Chad too. Seth, I just haven't been in Tennessee. I'm going to Tennessee next week, but anyway.
Where at?
Dale Hollow.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, Bassmaster.
Nice.
Yeah, next Monday. I'm leaving. But anyway, what I've seen is those little tiny things matter. Like Chad knows I throw the Nico, but I do things to it that nobody else does, that I feel nobody else does, that are just tiny little adjustments to catch fish, where a lot of guys will just throw it on there and do a certain thing with it. But that's each of us has that ability with what we're doing. And so you guys have taken us to another level with these intricate little things you've done. And like Chad, that lure, I would spend 30 minutes trying to get it back, and he's got it done in 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, you think about that. And how you measure your catfish, Seth, it takes like 2 minutes to measure a catfish, where we'd be struggling for an hour trying to get that thing on a pole.
And for everyone out there that doesn't know, Marty is right now working on his first book ever called Finding Nico.
Finding Nico, yeah. Well, yeah, always searching for it, yeah. But no, you know what's really cool though is when you do something successful and you built it yourself or made it yourself, there's a lot more than winning tournaments with that. Like, you know, last week I used lures that I made and caught the biggest fish of my life with a lure that I made and put together. And the same with you guys, these kayaks you've built yourself, there's got to be a whole lot more satisfaction if somebody built the whole thing for you and then you just bought it and took it out, you know.
That's what I try to tell people when I'm trying to tell them about what it is about this that gets me. It's not just the fishing. It's not just the catching the fish or being out there. It's the whole process. It's the having an idea, putting it together, trial and error in it, researching the body of water, different techniques, and just like bringing this whole thing together to, that 1-2 days on the water and making it all work.
Yeah.
And it's like that whole puzzle, the way it comes together from start to finish is just, it scratches all the itches for me.
Yeah, totally. It's like tying a fly and matching a hatch and tying a fly and catching something you just created from a hook.
One of those.
I was just going to say, just watching your videos and some of the still photos and stuff, and talking about the GoPros that you have mounted, you guys have some really high quality, high production images that are pretty impressive. So that must be kind of fun for you too, like filming all this stuff.
That honestly, that's been another piece of the puzzle to figure out, because starting out, when I started filming this stuff, they didn't look like that. They didn't sound like that. And it's been just kind of trial and error. Does this work? Does this work? No, that doesn't work. Throw it out. Try this way. I just last fall had the idea, if I get 3 cameras that'll hold media mods, all my audio will sound the same and sound good.
Right.
And I won't have to worry about mixing and matching from different cameras the audio to make it sound right.
And now Seth has a partnership with Dire Straits.
Yeah. No, you know who you remind me.
Money for nothing.
Seth, how old are you? In your 30s?
I'll be 41.
41. Okay.
Next week?
Did you have like
Oh, happy birthday coming up!
Happy birthday!
Yeah.
My birthday's next week too.
Nice.
But I won't be
41. You're catching me, Chad. You're catching me.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Hey,
lots of birthdays. All 3 of you have birthdays within the next month.
Yeah.
I gotta ask Seth though. When you were a kid, did you have like Transformers for toys? Because that's how your kayak is. It's like a.
No, I played with Legos a lot though.
Yeah,
I built everything except what the instructions were for to build.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's why your kayak is like the Transformer of kayak.
That's awesome.
It's so cool to
and I got there's one more rigging setup that I'm going to make another video for. That's going to be completely different than the previous 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell both of you guys right now that I reached out to Blake and Brian from New Canoe today and Ryan Lilly from Old Town, and told them both the same thing, that Vibe did a big email blast to all of their followers and their like pro staff and stuff. And that's what helped last week. So I sent both of your brand and your brand.
Nice.
I'm like, you guys should send something out, get people involved, get them involved in this, because all the social things that you guys are both doing this week that you collaborated with, like added me for a collaborator with, it makes a huge difference. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to make a big difference. So yeah, Old Town knows and New Canoe knows that you guys are both in the quarters. So we'll see what happens.
I want to ask Seth. I'm going to ask you, Chad. Chad, you were a boat guy before the kayak.
Yeah.
What is the greatest change? What's the change that you like the most from the boat to the kayak?
I mean, honestly, probably the biggest difference is the cost.
Yeah.
I'm able to do what I want. It's for me, it's about the competition and the camaraderie. The tournaments allow me to have the interaction with my buddies and the competition, the thrill of competition, and being on the water. I get all of that through fishing kayak tournaments, but I don't have the $100,000 bass boat and the boat gas and all of the costs that come.
Everything.
Yeah, maintenance. I mean, it's crazy. I did it for a long time, and that just sucked the fun out of it for me. And now with the kayak, I don't have to worry about. I mean, stuff. There's not that much to go wrong, really, and I feel closer to the water, and that's part of it that I didn't really expect. Is the connection I feel. I love the fact that when we catch a fish, we take a picture of it and let it go right where we caught it. We're not throwing them in a live well and dragging them around the lake and letting 500 fish go at one boat ramp at the end of the day. I mean, I love that part of the kayak tournaments, and the community. The kayak community is unlike anything I ever experienced in the bass boat world, and the friends I've made have been crazy. So, and to be honest, I mean, I have some sponsors. I'm not that big, but I do have some sponsors, and the opportunities I've had to, for sponsorships and all that kind of stuff has been way more on the kayak side than it was when I was in a bass boat, because it's kind of like, it's such a small community that it feels like, in the bass boat world, you just kind of get lost in the shuffle. But I don't know. Everything just feels more close knit and everything in the kayak world.
Yeah.
That was an amazing answer, man.
That was
really.
So, Seth, were you in a boat before the kayak, or do you have the similar story?
No, I had grown up bank fishing some when I was a kid with my dad, and then was it 2020? I started doing some bank fishing, and then got that lifetime kayak, and then it's just been that since then. Just upgrading kayaks. Went from the lifetime to a Johnny boat to a New Canoe Frontier 12, and then now to the Unlimited.
Yeah. Wow. I'll bet the lifetime was more of like the stealth kayak, the 10-footer. Was it kind of like that? Or?
There was nothing stealthy about that thing. Once I got everything on it that I had, I have to show you a picture. That thing looked like it crawled out of a junkyard.
Wow.
Mine was a yellow, like 9-foot Pelican from Costco that had I drilled 2 rod holders into the back, sit inside, like barely. I'm 6'4". I could barely sit in the thing, but I was like, I could get off the shore. Like,
I had in 1997. I had an Old Town Otter where I sat inside of it, and the hole was big enough for me to slide my waist and my legs and waist in.
Just to fit in.
Yeah, my feet would fall asleep in the front after about an hour, and it was very, very tippy. I didn't tip it, but it was very, very tippy. I don't even know how I fished out of it, to tell you the truth. And I bought it for like $200. It was $265 on eBay, is where I got it. And that was my first kayak. And then after that, I got the Wilderness Ride 135.
Yeah,
and that was like 2000 or whatever. But Zach Mickelson here. I wish I was going back to him. I had okay. And then he said he had no room. We've had about 150 people on the night here, so it's pretty good. And of course, you guys know that people, once I put this on the podcast, it's recorded on all the podcast stations. There's thousands of views in, our listeners. At that point, it gets out there because people want to, they want to hear it like when they're driving or at work or whatever. So we get great exposure on this.
I tell you, like one of the biggest contrasts for me, like as far as kayak fishing versus the bass boat world, is like, and I think about this all the time when I'm out there. It used to be so stressful when you're getting ready to launch for a big bass boat tournament, because there would be like hundreds of boats, everybody be waiting in line. It was kind of like it was stressful to get your boat launched and find parking and get everything figured out in the morning. And then like now for kayak tournaments, because we can launch anywhere, it's not unusual for there to just be, maybe I might be by myself, or there might just be a couple people launching at a ramp. And it's just like quiet in the morning. It's peaceful. I'm drinking my coffee and just getting my boat ready and getting ready to launch. And when you launch, it's just like quiet. There's not like, all the smell of like gas and oil burnt in the air. And then, when you take off, it's almost like a NASCAR event when you take off in a bass boat. And the kayak, you take off and it's just, admiring like the sounds and the, nature. It's just, it's such a different experience.
Absolutely. Like last weekend, I launched 50 yards from where I fished.
Yeah.
But
you got to admit, though, Chad, that takeoff when you're floating all together in the bass boat takeoff, that's pretty cool too, though. when you're all out there.
Everybody,
Like,
talking before launch and stuff, I do miss my bass boat buddies and all that, but I don't miss the stress of the mornings trying to get ready to launch and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Seth?
Oh, just Lake Murray is an exception to that. I've been at a boat ramp where we've launched and had so many kayaks that I've had to like take off slowly and be like watching everywhere around me so we don't all run into each other. But that's only because there's only 3 ramps on that whole lake that you can launch from.
That. Talking about that.
I'll say I had this talk with Marty because Marty and I are going up with a bunch of people to this Vancouver Island, like way up northwest. And I said to Marty, I'm like, besides like the mothership that's going to be near us, which is like a 17-foot boat to make sure we're safe, it's just going to be our group by ourselves. Where I fish here on the Columbia, if I see one other person, it's usually the other person that's a buddy of mine that came fishing with us. And we don't have boat launches. Like you just drive down a beach and throw your kayak in.
Yeah.
It's so different.
That's kind of how it was for me in Southwest Nebraska for years, where I never saw another kayak. For 6 years, I never saw another kayak. And I very seldom saw a boat because I was back behind where I drove in with my Jeep and I would get into these places that no one could get into.
Yeah.
With a boat. And it was behind what I called the jail with all the willows and the cottonwoods that grew up. And I fished for bass, 100 bass days, and nobody in sight.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was incredible.
You guys stick around the Malone social sites this summer because I'm going to be pulling that trailer with some kayaks in front of like glaciers and waterfalls and rivers in the middle of nowhere. And it's literally 10 minutes from my house. That'd be pretty cool.
Can't wait. Oh, yeah. Keith and I are working together all year long.
Nice.
So,
I mean, it's super fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
We got plans.
Yep, we do.
That's cool. We're gonna wind this down a little bit. So let's hear one last bit, and we're gonna have the pose. I'm gonna move them. I'm gonna move.
Oh
them.
yeah, I gotta set that up.
I'm gonna actually move them over, and these guys are gonna. Whoop, what did I do with them? What happened?
You lost me, Marty.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get.
I gotta set it up.
I got it. Okay.
You got to make them the same size first. You guys know what we're doing here, right? We're trying to do the fisticuff things.
Oh, yeah.
Around. All right, now we're going to make it even.
You got to make them the same size.
I'm getting there. I got to keep
last night, Marty and I were playing Frogger. It took forever.
I'm not a video game player, but okay.
Well, you got to move the Malone thing off Chad's face first.
Here, I can just move over.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
There you go.
All right,
bring them closer together, and Seth's got to get a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger.
Are
they
square?
The bottom.
The bottom's got to be a little stretched out.
Where?
Seth and I are picky.
Where am I? What am I?
So now the bottom's lined up. Now the top has to come up. Grab a corner and drag it down a little bit.
That way down. That way.
That way. I don't know. I'm seeing it clean here.
Okay, pull them closer together, and then we're good.
Like that?
No. Sure. There you go. Stop.
Okay.
Stop there. Right. Okay, fisticuffs, boys. Let's go.
You got to face each other.
Yeah. Oh. Who's going to turn the wrong way first? Because somebody always does.
Oh,
there you go. Chad's got it. Yeah.
Dog's going, what are you doing, Chad?
Yeah. You got to hold it. I haven't taken the picture yet.
Oh.
I'll tell you when to let go.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, Chad, Chad, lift your right arm up higher.
Higher.
Left arm down. Left arm down a bit. You're hiding your other hand. There you go. There you go. So drop your left arm. Drop your left arm a bit. There we go. Now look at each other. Seth, you're looking at. There we go. Make a mean face.
Every week we do this.
Got it. That was perfect.
Chad's still.
That was a good one. No, that was a good one.
We
That's hard because, I got to say this. That's been one of the cool things about the Yakoffs is I've met a bunch of people that I never had met before. And, Seth, he's got a huge YouTube channel and I mean, I had never heard of him, but since we have been doing this, I've been checking out his content and stuff. Man, the guy is like, he's a serious YouTuber. He's putting out some quality content. I mean, honestly, I fish tournaments too much and I don't spend that much time on social media, but Seth has got some good stuff. So I definitely recommend people to check him out. And I've been pretty impressed with some of the stuff he's put out there.
Yeah,
I'll say the same thing, Chad. I'll say the same thing there. And after watching how much stuff that both you guys do and what you do in your own kind of realms there, but what Seth does and puts out there is super high quality and fun to watch, and like some humor behind it. And I think your YouTube following is right now at what, Seth? Like
12 and some change. I can't remember the exact number.
Okay.
Something like that.
Wow.
I think it's gonna blow up because
1,200 some change, not 1,000.
But you've got a lot of cool stuff out there, and it's fun. And Chad, you too, and Marty, and like everybody that's been getting more exposure from this. It's been, man, even me, like everyone that posts and puts me as a collaborator and through Kayak Angler Mag. Yeah, we've got a lot of followers, but my personal one is Yakfishaholic, and everyone tags me on that. I get all these. I have some Japanese following now. I don't even know where it came from. I literally have. I'm getting like full on Japanese Instagram messages. Luckily, I used to own a sushi restaurant in town, and my buddy that I used to own it with, Shinji, is Japanese. So he's been telling me what they say, and it's really nothing bad. So that's good.
Wow. So
it's crazy.
Cool. Now,
small world.
Any last thoughts on your rigs, guys? You want to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I appreciate everyone who supported me up to this point. I was kind of blown away in the first round against Drew Gregory. I mean, I didn't really think I would win against him, and it was a pretty. I mean, I guess I don't want to sound conceited, but I mean, it was a pretty dominant win on that one. So I am really blown away by the support I've gotten, and I appreciate everybody that has voted for me and supported me. I mean, I think this is going to be probably a really close battle between me and Seth. I know that Seth has got a strong, support system and a strong channel, and he puts out great content. He's got a great rig, so I don't have any idea who's going to win this one, and I'm just grateful to be here.
That's cool.
Awesome.
What about you, Seth?
Really just echo what he said. This whole experience, just getting to meet people that I otherwise would never have met or gotten to talk to, interact with, getting to see everybody else's rig. Like Chad, the lure retriever thing, like I am going to be figuring something out with that for mine. And then also even the way you're hauling the camper and the kayak, because I have a rooftop tent that initially I was like, this is going to be great. I don't have to worry about an Airbnb or hotels or nothing for tournaments. But then I thought, like, no, I'm not getting up at 3 a.m. to tear this thing down just so I can drive my kayak 50 feet to the boat ramp.
Yeah,
so that hasn't worked out for me. And I did look it up in Tennessee. It is legal for me to do. So
I was looking at that today too.
I'll be figuring that out too. This has been a great experience, start to finish, wherever it finishes. I've enjoyed every bit of it and getting to meet everybody.
And then
that's like one of the coolest things too about it all is for me is that, I mean, I'm up here north of the 49th, and I've said this before, but I've been able to be part of like a cog in kind of introducing all these people to new fishing buddies and new places and new sponsorships and new ways to hang out and new sharing ideas, and with all the people watching too. And apparently all these people in Japan. Look at this.
Wow.
These are my Instagram posts. Like I want to be like the David Hasselhoff of Germany. but in Japan for kayak fishing.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, it's been super awesome. Like the whole thing has been great with sponsors, and I'm excited to kind of see where this goes. And we're going to do another Yakoff in the fall. This one's far from over yet. Wish both of you guys the best of luck. And what I would totally suggest, the brand's support that you work with makes a humongous difference on voting. So people are voting like based on what they like, but they're also voting based on the brands that they love. And that was very apparent last week. So that's all I'm going to say. Every week, I am 100% fair to every brand, every sponsor, letting them know what's going on. I talked to Old Town today. I talked to New Canoe today. Yak Attack's pretty much involved in everything. But, yeah, go after it. Keep pumping it on socials. Love the attention. Appreciate you guys, and good luck, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Beth.
Here.
Thanks for being here, Beth, for representing.
Oh, it's been fun. Yeah, thanks for inviting me on.
You bet. And you guys did a great job, man. One of the best we've had. So that was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If I can say real quick, something else cool that's come out of this, Rick, one of the editors from Kayak Angler Magazine, reached out to me, and I've been working with him. Maybe here in the near future, if you check out Kayak Angler Magazine, there may be some articles on some fishing techniques that I've been working on with him. So something else cool that came out of this, and something to watch for. So
that was very cool, and that came up of our last time on Marty's show when Rick was on here with us with Sean from Malone, right? And we chatted about that. And Rick also has a Malone trailer.
Yeah.
So the one drawback from that episode of Marty's show was you were talking about your trailer, Rick was talking about his trailer, Sean was talking about how great the trailers are. Beth's like, Jesus, no one's ever going to buy one if they all. We're never going to resell one if they all last 25 years.
By the way,
I thought you were going to say we lost Marty about halfway through, but
we did, but but then we moved on from that quick.
Yeah.
and Chad, I'm doing the same thing with Kayak Angler, writing. I got a couple assignments from them as well, and that wouldn't have happened without all this. Where before I was just wired to fish, Bassmaster, and so forth, those kinds of things. But we have elevated our game because of all this. And I look at it. I'm so grateful that through this, man, I'm going to go to this remote island up by near almost to Alaska because of this right here, and go fish.
That's awesome.
Places I would never have dreamed of going.
And you guys are going to be able to follow along on that on like Kayak Bass Fishing and Vibe and Bixby and Yak Attack and all of our sites and Kayak Angler.
Yeah.
And Marty, and there's a bunch of us going up there, and it's going to be a pretty cool trip.
Because that just tells you it's not just about the green carp we go after every day, or the kitties with the whiskers. We and I know you're a multi-species angler. I know that, and the same with me. But people think that all we do is catch bass. But really, when I go out, man, I'm just looking for a tug, and that's it. And so to get those, I grew up on the ocean fishing for what I didn't know what was going to bite most of the time, and to go to a place where I have no idea what it's like, but using that kayak fishing experience to see how I can challenge myself with those guys up there and see what we can do.
So just one quick thing. So where we're going is called Kayukit, northwest coast of Vancouver Island. Mm-hmm. I'm super confident in all these guys being able to hold their own because of what they can do on kayaks. It's going to be very interesting to see how they react to the fish, because this place is literally a 6-hour drive north from where you would take the ferry across from Vancouver, and then about a 40-minute boat ride just to get to the island, and then we fish off of there.
And what's the water temperature?
if you fall in for more than probably 10 minutes, you're dead.
Okay.
Like literally. Like
approximately.
It's a Pacific Northwest, and it's not a beach. It's not a beach with shallow water. Like, we're out there, and I mean, if the fishing's good, I'm not going to circle back and get Marty if he fell in.
I'm gonna have to get a dry suit for this, man.
You're gonna have to get a bear suit. You're scared about elephants. Like, there's a bunch of shit.
Oh yeah, I know. It's man. Yeah, I knew.
I went up to Vancouver Island several years back salmon fishing. I don't think I was that far north like what you're talking about. I remember we did the ferry, and it was like a couple-hour drive, but we were salmon fishing. But it was an amazing place, and that's probably one of my greatest memories.
Wow. It's amazing. It's way up there. This is remote. Like, you can't get there. We're going to be going, like, there's an indigenous culture up there that they're going to be.
Like where they film that show Alone?
Yeah.
It's more like Alone plus a couple.
Yeah, plus a couple.
You know what?
We're going to be like, they're going to be showing us, like,
I'm going to.
Like, smoking fish, how they do it the traditional way and stuff. And it's going to be
wow. There's a guy here, Sam, that won the Alone one time. He lives in Lincoln here. Went to the same church with him for a while there before we moved here. But I took him fishing. He won the Alone show. But I'm going to go get some tips from him, man. When I go there,
we're also staying in a super awesome. It's called, if you want to check it out, Sea Otter, like SEA, SeaOtterLodgeBC.com. It's like, if you look at that website, Marty, can you pull it up right now?
The website?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. It's called.
SeaOtterLodgeBC.com. Just watch the flyover of this. This is where we're staying.
Okay, just a second. I'll get it up here. Yes. Sorry to keep you on.
It's insane.
Unfortunately,
Beth, it won't be a place that's really good for trailers because it's a private island.
It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a sea. Which otter lodge? There's two sea otter lodges.
Yeah. SEA Otter Lodge. Sea Otter Lodge. BC.com.
Okay. There it is. Okay, let me get the video here. It'll
do a flyover of where we're going.
I see it. Okay, I'll get it on there. 1 second. I'm there. In screen share. And then I'll screen share and show you guys Sea Otter Lodge. Let me bring it on. Okay, here we go.
There it is.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I can't believe that. It's just, look at that. Look at that. Is that kind of like where you were at, Chad?
No. I was like on basically like it was a more of an inland river type deal where we were in little boats, but
yeah, that's the open Pacific. Fishing. That's the open Pacific right there, and that's the Cayucit, the indigenous band that lives right there.
Is that a house on the water?
Yeah, here, let me go back to the beginning. You can see if I can get it. It just plays, so I don't know. Look at that. Look at that, you guys. Wow. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Now that's the lodge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's gorgeous. Have you been here before, Keith?
I did, yeah. So they actually approached me last summer about advertising with us because they wanted to bring kayak fishing more to the West Coast.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I can't really, in like good faith, sell you an advertising package without going to check it out.
Sneaky.
So I went there. I went there for 3 days with two of my buddies. I stayed for 8 days. We actually helped them build a second cabin and poured like concrete foundations. And I have some really funny videos about that. But carrying concrete bags, 50-pound concrete bags across the island all day long. But yeah, and now I'm helping them set up the program, and now we've got 14 of us going there on June 15th. And stay tuned for some videos and social stuff.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's going to be cool.
Thank goodness you keep your clothes on.
No, it's a naked island.
Oh boy. I guess no one.
Oh, I forgot to tell Marty. It's called Sea Otter Naked and Afraid.
Well, I'm gonna be afraid of Chad. That's for sure. Not you, Chad. Chad.
You said you're scared of bears.
Yeah. That's not about the other Chad. You're gonna laugh about that.
The bad Chad.
Yeah, the bad Chad. Yeah. So. All right, awesome. That's a good one, you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this has been super fun. Thanks for your time, everybody.
Yes.
And Beth, thanks for joining us.
Oh,
it was awesome to have you on.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
You guys take care. We'll talk soon. Have a great night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Let's see. Keith is gone. Seth, see you, man.
See you later.